All right, friends, so section 6, here we go. In section 6, we're going to talk about trying to reduce the use of water a little bit. So we waste about 65 to 70% of the water throughout the world, and it's used up or wasted through evaporation, leaks, and other types of losses out there. We could curb that number by 15%, which would make a huge impact. Now, the ways we're going to do that through water conservation are improved irrigation, improved collection methods, and using less in our homes and businesses. If we can do those kind of things, we can make a vast improvement to that number. And then the other way you could look at it, in addition to water conservation, is you could look at water itself. So water is underpriced, it's cheap, at least in the United States, that's true. And so a lack of government subsidies for improving water efficiency can lead to wasting of water. And so we might look at raising the price in the United States. This would curb the idea of the tragedy of the commons a little bit. It's currently, taken from a point of view of it's cheap, so I don't mind if I waste a little along the way, and that cost would change that philosophy a little bit. Possible ideas. Now, when we go to use water, the vast majority of water is used for irrigation. Remember, about 70% of the world's water is used for agriculture. So, what can we do about that? Well, 60% of that water for irrigation is actually currently being wasted. And so we could improve that irrigation techniques and cut that down by between 5 and 20% by just the techniques we use. Flood irrigation is extremely wasteful from a water perspective point of view. So central pivots using low pressure sprinklers can help. Low efficiency precision application sprinklers work even better. And then drip irrigation systems called micro irrigation. They're costly, but they're the most efficient way to handle water. And so there's different systems we can use to improve the efficiency of how we apply the water to reduce evaporation and all of those kind of things. And so solutions. Xeriscaping is one option. You plant plants in your yard and stuff that use very, very little water. We take the water that we use for like showering and dishes and things like that. That's what we call gray water. It's dirty water, but it can still be used. We can use that for watering lawns and washing cars and doing things along those lines. And so we could utilize our gray water. That'd be better. And then you could put incentive. You can incentivize not wasting water. And so when meters are used, water use per person drops 40%. So you can meter the water. You could increase the cost of domestic water, for instance. These would be ways to try to curb the situation. So reducing water waste can happen through how we design and manufacture things. Recycling water that comes out of the industry. Landscape yards with things that don't need much. Use drip irrigation. Fix watery pipes. Use water meters. Raise the price of water. Use composting toilets that don't waste water. You could require that cities with shortage of water, like Las Vegas or Phoenix, use water conservation plans. You could use water-saving shower heads and toilets and front-loading washing machines. There's lots of different ways to become more efficient from a water usage point of view in our appliances and daily lives. Collect and reuse, that's the gray water I was just talking about. And then we could purify water that's being used in apartments and households and then reuse it immediately. That helps solve a lot of the problems as well. And this just kind of recaps a lot of those main ideas. Raise some water price. Population growth, of course, is a factor within those confines. Get agreements between regions and countries on how to share surface water appropriately. We need to protect forests and wetlands and glaciers. These are places that store water and hold water and recycle water, and having those present is really helpful. Try to preserve water quality in that we don't pollute it and do things along those lines. We need to not deplete the aquifers, and we need to waste less water. All of these are solutions to a more sustainable water environment.